Hey, 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 what's up? It's your boy Mike the Dome with another episode for Straight Out of the Heights podcast. I decided to do a little resume, you might say, since this is going to actually be the first official podcast before we start doing some interviews and some soon with some of my boys from the Heights. And I was looking at this group that I've been a member for a couple of years now on Facebook called I Grew Up in Washington Heights. This group is very sentimental to me because there you see the diversity of the different cultures and the different countries that made up Washington Heights. When I first got to Washington Heights was in 1975. And I lived on Audubon Avenue between 179 and 180th Street, right in front of this garage that they have there. And when I got there, I lived on 283 Audubon Avenue. I guess I was like the second Dominican family in the building. There was a Dominican family on the second floor. I remember Hippie, which was, back in the 70s, very popular guy. I think he has a gas station now on Webster. If he's still there, I'm not too sure. And, most of the guys that lived in the building worked on that garage. And when I grew up in Washington Heights started, I remember we used to talk about, the hood and, which were the gangs back in the days. But it was only a few dozens, mainly Spanish people, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans that were from the Heights. And I read an update recently from my man Mills Castro. He's one of the administrators. When I read that, I got all emotional. He says, to think that there was only like 20 of us when we started this page, and to see that now there are over 17,000 members plus over 23,000 images and memories here. This blows me away. God bless you all. God bless you too, Minton. Because of this page, we ran into each other. I know I'm a couple of years older than you, but I was a friend of your brother Fausto, and through him, I met you when you was barely, 15? You was one of those hip-hop up-and-coming, I believe you was out in a movie, breakdancing or dancing or something like that, and you was into that hip-hop culture through the expression of art in graffiti. I think your name, I think you used to tag Merc, something like that. Well, we're going to do it soon one of these days, and we could talk about that. And when I started talking to you on the group, I thought you was Fausto, your brother. But then you told me, nah, I'm his little brother. I was like, oh, but I don't know you. And you said, well, okay, bet. But then you sent me a picture of how you looked back in 1985. And I said, oh, I remember you now. And man, we've been tight ever since. Every time you come down here to the country, you come to the pizza shop. We share. We have made some Cuban sandwiches, and we always in contact. And I appreciate that about you, homie. And always calling me, putting me up to date, and sending me videos of the block and stuff like that, which I'm gonna ask for you to send them now with the idea of doing a podcast and talking about these different videos that you be sending me, especially when you send me with an ice cream truck, Mr. Softy. You evil you. But I wanted to do this podcast because looking at this group of I grew up in Washington Heights, I posted some pictures, I would say, let me see, December 2014 on Facebook. Yeah, December 2014. I think I posted them on January 2015, if I'm not mistaken. I'm talking about seven years ago. I was a knucklehead. Later on, I would share a podcast with a little bit of my testimony. I was a knucklehead. I don't deny it. I was deep into the streets when I was in New York. And I'm still paying the consequences for being a knucklehead, not being able to go in the States. And when I got down here, I went back illegally. But then, I decided that, I couldn't keep living like that. I had my first son back in 1994. So I decided to stay for good, and any illegally obtained papers I had, I burnt them. I started, going to church, doing the right thing. I wrote a couple of books, not related to my past, but, related to my findings in the Lord. And my life changed around. I've been working down here for years, and I went to college down here. I went to broadcasting school. I went to technical school to learn how to do TV production. And, I had this radio program, and I had this TV program, and I even won a little trophy there for my TV program, for being one of the best Christian-oriented TV programs in the country. And I'm very proud of that. That's why I show it on my podcast always. It will always be there. And I started doing Spanish podcast on December of last year, 2021. And recently, this month, YouTube started monetizing my channel, placing publicity ads and stuff like that. And then I decided to do an English podcast, and it is out there already. It was intentionally done in English for various reasons, and it was done on my Spanish channel. But the feedback I got, like I say on the intro, on the trailer, was very positive. So I said, let me just start doing a podcast in English and see where it'll take me. And I named it very, how you might say, that identifies with my upbringing, because I grew up in Washington Heights. So I found a little logo that they sell on Amazon. I'm going to buy some of those T-shirts and sweatshirts that says "Straight Out of the Heights." So I said, hey, how convenient. I'm going to use that name for my podcast, Straight Out of the Heights Podcast. And this episode that I'm doing right now is just to let you know of how I feel redeemed. Why I say I feel redeemed? Because I got a family now. My first son that was born in 1994, he's now an American citizen. He's an adult lives out in Orlando, Florida, working at the Renaissance Hotel, something like that, doing good. And the family that I have now, when my kids were 8 and 7 year old, I said, listen, to my wife, I need something to be done to fill this void that I have in my heart. And she said, what is that? I said, listen, I'm going to buy you some flight tickets, and you're going to go to Washington Heights. And you're going to take pictures of my little kids. They're 15 and 14 now. At that time, they were 8 and 7. And I want you to take them to these specific places. Take pictures of them at these places, send them to me, and I'll be all right for the rest of my life. And when she started sending me these pictures, man, tears came down, and I was all watered-eyed, emotional and stuff. But I felt like, okay, I'm down here, but my kids are in Washington Heights, the place where I grew up on. And look at these pictures. I'm going to show you pictures of, I'm not going to show you all because I don't want to get you tired. But the first picture you see there is when they got to Washington Heights, and guess where? On the train station, 181st, one train, St. Nicholas Avenue, 181st. They sent me that picture, and right there, I was all shook up. I was like, oh, oh, man. The second picture, as you can see, was taken where you see the garage on 179 and the bodega, which was at the corner. That's the bodega where I used to get my ham and cheese, my bistec de palomilla, and my yoo-hoo, and my Wise potato chips. They don't sell Wise potato chips down here, man. They got Lay's. They don't sell Wise. And I remember I used to drink not only yoo-hoo. I like this white drink that they had over there. I don't know if they still have it, called French vanilla shake, something like that. I used to drink that all the time. I used to love it. Plus, the little things, 9, 10-year-old kids like cola champagne. Remember that little drink, cola champagne? And those Twinkies, those Hostess cakes, man. Plus, don't forget those Italian breads with that American cheese and ham, baby. That was the shit. Oh, man, that bodega brings back a lot of memory. That garage, too. Then they took another picture to the other corner, 180th Street. I remember they had a restaurant there. And on the other two corners, there was like 2 bars. I'm talking about 1975. So you might not know what I'm talking about. But I remember going in that restaurant to play paintball. There you see my sister Jenny. She used to live on the second floor with her husband, Michael. And she had her first daughter there, Jennifer. See my sister there with my son, Isaac, and my little daughter, Rebecca. There, I told them, listen, you're going to take a picture of Isaac on Audubon Avenue in front of Junior High School 143 because I have a picture at the exact location. I can't find it, man. But I said, take a picture of Isaac exactly at this place. And they sent it to me. That's my wife with the kids in front of 283 Audubon Avenue. I lived there from 1975 till 1977. 1977, we moved to 171st. I'm going to show you some pictures of the little house where I lived the rest of my days in Washington Heights. Here, you'll see the picture of PS 132. It's now called Juan Pablo Duarte Elementary School, I believe. But I still remember some of the songs, man, that we sang in that school. You know, they had the assembly on Wednesdays. And I remember the song that we sang when we graduated to go to junior high school 143. And it used to go, goodbye, goodbye, 132. You were so near, so very dear, so very close. Oh, man. Yo, emotional, man, looking at things from Washington Heights. Emotional. There you got a picture of my wife with the kids, looking at where the Bridge Apartments is at, Port Authority. Look at this picture right there. I took this picture with my niece in Jew Park. Background, George Washington Bridge. I believe that's the place where somebody should get a picture spot like they did on Times Square back in the days, 42nd Street, and they would take pictures of you so you could keep as souvenirs. Somebody should just be there every day to take pictures of people, professional pictures. And I took this picture with my niece when she was a little baby. And then my sister took my family, my wife and my kids, and took a picture on the same spot. On the same spot, decades later. That right there had me all bubbly. My kids at Jewel Park. There you go. That's the front of the little house, 564 West 171st between Audubon and St. Nicholas. I lived there from 1977 all the way up until I became an adult. Loved that little house. Look at that. That was the cutest little house on the block, man. Have a lot of memories there. That's my wife. I don't know what's on the corner back there, but back in my days, there was a hardware store on that corner. I remember my boy DJ Bayamon used to work there, and he just recently retired. I think he moved out to Miami. I'm gonna try to reach out to him so we could do a podcast via Zoom or something, because he remembers me dearly, man, and I love him a lot. He has a beautiful family. Dude and his wife look like whoa, like movie stars, beautiful people. So I'm going to be reaching out to him, DJ Bayamon. Andy, you my man, homie. So there's another picture on 171st and St. Nicholas, looking up towards going uptown. This one is looking towards Columbia Presbyterian. There you go again. Look at that one. Check that out. Old San Juan, man. Oh, man, how many karate flicks, man, I seen there. That was, whoa, that was the place to be, the place to go, San Juan Theater. And there they are at the train station on 168. They walked from 181st to 168, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 168. Yeah, they make sure I knew that they walked from 181st to 168. Then they got on the train. And that was it, man. I just wanted to share that memory with you guys and, let you know that this is going to be getting very interesting. Thank you very much for, the people. I grew up in Washington Heights, especially the administrators, Dago, Suarez, Mills, Rafael Castro, and all the people that be posting pictures of way back in the days, man. We be seeing some black and whites, and I be enjoying that. You will only know if you belong to that group, what that group means to everybody that is in there. So I just wanted to say thanks for keeping up with me. I would like to ask you, to subscribe to this channel, make your comment, hit the like button, share with the people you love. And when we keep seeing each other, I'm going to keep doing these podcasts every now and then. And, I do this for love, man. I do this for love. I enjoy it very much. I hope you also enjoyed watching it. I'm going to let you go now, letting you know my name is Mike Santos, but people in the Heights call me Mike the Dome. One love, baby.